Natalie Sanchez. I studied biology, and after this, I'll be going to graduate school in South Carolina. So I just felt like sharing with you guys how grateful God is, how full of grace God has been towards me. I was born in North Philadelphia in a poor Puerto Rican household. It wasn't a good neighborhood. We didn't have much money. I can remember having my cousins hand me down clothing and eating rice and egg for dinner most nights, and not having much as a kid, but really feeling loved and being happy with my family because they taught me who God is, and they taught me who I am in Him. And so I also remember just being in the hospital a lot when I was a kid. My mom was very sick when I was young, and so she had lupus, and so anything would land her in the hospital for like days or even like maybe a week, and so that happened very frequently. And so I could just remember my dad was the janitor at my Head Start, and Head Start is daycare for people low income. And he would come and get me from class, take me to McDonald's for like a meal, sometimes neglecting to eat himself, and then we'd go and see my mom. And my mom refused to eat until I came to see her because she wanted to spend that time with me and just hear how my day was. And I can just remember seeing IVs stuck into her arm, and I remember the smell of alcohol on her clothing. But I wouldn't take away any of those hours because I just loved to be there. And as an adult, I understand the sacrifices that my parents have had to make for me. And I stand here just really grateful that God has been blessing us. We're not rich by any means, but we have never lacked what we needed. And my mom is the woman, she is one of the people that is like most full of faith that I know, and I strive every single day to be like her. So being a senior at Penn, making plans to graduate and go to South Carolina for me is like surreal because I never even thought that I would like get into college or even like make it to graduate school for real. I thought I'd messed up my interview for Penn, and I was sure that I wasn't like refined enough, or I said something wrong. But we got the call, and I found out that I was in. And when my parents found out, they were excited for like a minute until they saw the bill, and they were like, well, at least they invited you, right? But then we saw like God's hand, and we saw how much like Penn was giving, and we saw that God was working and that Penn was the way to go. And so like never has it been so tangible for me to do something with my life and get ahead and get out of my neighborhood until I started classes and it was like super different. I felt like I didn't belong, and everyone looked really rich and like really prepared. But after some time, I was able to find my niche. I was part of the New Spirit of Penn Gospel Choir, and I found my family there. I made friends here at GCC, and at GCC's Passion Conference, that's when I was really broken, and I understood, it's not my strength, right? Because honestly, I can't do anything on my own. And I understood that God loves me. He doesn't care, what people said about me and, what things I heard at Penn and what I've seen. I'm His baby girl, right? And He's holding on to my hand. And if I've gotten to this point, I understand it's because of Him. And so I'm going forward by faith, and I'm never letting go, because I understand that it's not through my works and it's not through my understanding, but it's God's grace in my life.